Hey guys, it's Wednesday, and this is Shane with daily-astrocat.com. You ready for some astrology? Let's go. It's Wednesday, and the moon in Aries is going to be void of course tonight at 6:54 p.m. here on the East Coast. Just as you're beginning to feel like, oh man, all this stuff that Shane's been talking about is never going to happen, it's here. The orders are in. You started to see it coming through. It's coming through, and guess what? It's time. It's finally here for this guy. I got my marching orders for next week. So, how about you? What changes are you awaiting further instructions for? It's a good day to reach out to those people, to people in charge, to people that have some kind of say into what it is that you're going to be doing, what your next chapter, the next stage of your journey is. Just like that rocket ship that blasted off tonight at 22:55, something like that, here on the East Coast. Yeah, 22:55. We're taking off, right? Such a metaphor for that, right? It's freaking literal. Anyway, this is the way us astrology works. So, guys, let's talk about this. And ladies and everybody, right? We use the generic term, right? All a family here. That's all that matters. What changes are you awaiting further instructions for? Now it dawns on everybody, right? The reality starts to settle in. This is different. We are on the move. Something is changing. Something is happening. And we're going to respond to it. And it's going to be affirming and positive. Because this is what we're moving into. We are moving into a new reality, whether it's a 3D or out there, right? Now, this is quite literal for me, personally. I'm stepping into something new that's a truer expression of what my personal energy can be. You are stepping into something that is a truer expression of your personal energy, right? Part of it may be being here. And I appreciate that, and that's something that's another big part of me that, remember the 2 tracks, the 2 trains, maybe even 3 trains? That's what I'm talking about. We're talking about taking off here too, which is happening, and thank you so much. I really appreciate everybody that listened yesterday and saved a couple of episodes to listen to them later, or to perhaps go back and re-listen to them, because it really helps the exposure, and it helps spread everything. Now, I had somebody tell me that they're so surprised that I'm not viral because I just sound nice, and I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. It's just the way I sound, right? There's nothing that I try to do with it. That being said, today's keyword is definitely truer, okay? And it's not definitely truer, it's truer. And the color is a male cardinal's color. Some of those cardinals are amazing, right? Those colors, you associate it with a bright red, but it can be even like the scarlet. It's just gorgeous, like a vermilion. We have a feeder at the office at work, and we get to see all sorts of birds and stuff like that. Even the sparrows have such variation in them from bird to bird to bird, even though they're basically the same, that it's amazing. I will miss that part, that's for sure, because it is interesting to watch the birds and everything outside the window. And goldfinches and red-headed woodpeckers and the mourning doves. The mourning doves are unbelievably beautiful. The more I've gotten to know them and see them, the more absolutely beautiful the colors are and calming. That's going to be, and their feet are so red too. You just never notice that until you see them perched on a black hook, and you're like, oh wow. No, they are pigeon family, but that. I digress, because that's talking about ornithology, which is a study of birds. We begin the day feeling a bit shaky, okay? And this is going to be because of the energy, right? We have that Jupiter and Venus. That's not going to settle well with some people. And the reason why it doesn't settle well with some people is because that might be in a place that's aspected adversely in your chart, your own personal chart. It's a greater benefic, so it should bring something, even if it's adversely affected. It could be bringing something good into a bad situation, and that's a good way to look at it. There's always something positive to gain out of these combinations. Although, that last year with Jupiter and Gemini was pretty sus, right? Yeah. But now we're actually in a better place, and we're moving forward. Now, after we're out through all that shaky energy, we had that energy the last few days for what, right? We're nervous for what? I can tell you, I'm nervous because I just don't want to leave somebody with a mess when I stop doing what I'm doing and move on, right? So I'm trying desperately to just nail everything down. I may have had a decision made for me tonight because they started to change my access. So hopefully that doesn't quite go through just yet. But if they change my access at work, then there's going to be certain things that I'm not going to be able to do. There's other things that I can do. But we'll cross that bridge when we get to it tomorrow, right? That's for me personally. I don't know about you guys, but now, is it more of the same? Is that what we're going to have? No. Lo and behold, the moon is going to square Venus, and it's going to have us wanting more, okay? In other words, that moon and Venus will form an opposition, not an opposition, a square. And the moon is in Aries, and it's just like it's going to hit that cardinal point where it's square Venus in Cancer, and Venus is at home in Cancer saying, hey, what can we do here? What can we do to get more? And the moon is like, well, I know exactly what we can do to get more. And that's how the universe delivers, because now we've got that open mindset where we want to accumulate more, and it's something that we want to do to enhance our lives, to enhance everything that we do. Now, you may say this, hey, this is fleeting because this is just the moon and Venus. But actually, these cardinal points, all of these points are shaken around because of those kites that are involved that I've been telling you about. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, go back and listen to yesterday's or find something with the kite in it. I've had it in all these episodes this week. So if you listen to this week's episodes, you'll be able to figure out what it is that I'm referring to. Let it flow, okay? Let this stuff flow. You got to just go with it. We're in the middle of... I'm in the middle of a big transition with going from job to job. What are you in the middle of, and what is it that you can do to enhance and facilitate your own flow into what it is that you're moving towards? What do you need to leave behind to do it efficiently? Because there will be stuff left behind. That's inevitable. I just told you, just go back and rewatch the videos for the week, and that way and then what you need to do is just go talk to the folks that you need to connect with to make your version of the story even more possible, and just prepare yourself for what's coming, okay? And that's the major shift that's about to take place. All right, so with that being said, once you're sure, you're done. That's it. Once you get that assurance, it's done. Come prepared to start the process. Be sure and begin to clear your plate of the old, okay? That's what you do. You clear your plate of the old to make room for what is new. Begin looking the part you're stepping into, and reclaim that truer version of yourself. Later on today, that void of course moon, oh boy, that's going to begin. Now, the void of course moon takes us in a direction that's just kind of crazy, because now that we're outside of the daytime, now that we're outside of the 3D, now we're talking side hustly stuff, right? We're talking what it is you do that boosts and sustains. Now, you can be boosted and sustained by the day job. That's absolutely perfect. But we got 2 trains, baby. 2 trains, 2 tracks. Everything that we need is right there in us and in the universe and in each other, right? Like I've been saying, reach out, help each other. Let's do this. Let's build our community here for us and for the good of everybody that's a member of it. We're going to do business together, right? Well, that's what we're going to be doing. Now, pay attention to your side hustle. That's the thing. Now, my favorite polymath in 1642, one Christian Huygens, one of my favorite polymaths, that's for sure, discovers Mars' southern polar cap. Now, Christian is an astronomer. doctor, all sorts of stuff. I had a big thing on his birthday. I'll have to go back and find it, but yeah, he's quite the character, quite the talented person, and the birth. Now you may laugh because it's Annie Oakley, and she's an American sharpshooter. She was a Buffalo Bills Wild West. She's born in North Star, Ohio, and she died in 1926. However, think about this. She was one of the biggest stars in her day. She was the second largest earning performer in that so-called the Wild West show. And she actually performed for royalty in Europe, the Kaiser, Queen Victoria, among others, some people in Belgium and all that stuff. Not that that makes her anything special, but what makes her special is that during her lifetime, despite her large earnings, she managed to donate and train women into how to use firearms and donated to charitable causes, giving away almost the entire fortune that she worked for during her working life. And she supported feminist causes as well. That's what I have for you. So there we go. There's a feminist icon for you that you really wouldn't quite expect. And, that's what you got. Laura Croft of the turn of the century. So let's sum it up. Today's keyword is truer, and the color is a male cardinal's color. That's scarlet, right? Thank you for joining me. Thank you for coming by. Appreciate and love every single one of you. Today, we're going to tone it down a little bit. We've had a couple of high-flying days that we were going into because they were high-functioning. Vibrationally, they were high-functioning. Today, we're going to take that vibration down because we're applying it to the world in general. We're applying it to what it is that we do daily instead of what we do, Let's just call it what we call it, right? This is more refers to our daytime life, our that kind of life. So today's a 7. Happy astrocatting.